Guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Now, Dubai's most beautiful immersive experience park, Aya, has finally made it to Dubai at Wafi City Mall. And you can expect 40,000 square feet of jaw-dropping scenarios and 12 immersive rooms, each with its own experience. And to tell us more about it, we are joined by Alexandra Heller, founder and CEO of Hyperspace. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, thank you. Pleasure's all ours. So before we get started, can you tell us a bit more about yourself and Hyperspace and I in general?
Of course. So I'm from New York. I moved to Dubai about 4 years ago to start Hyperspace and to build future-forward entertainment attractions like Aya, which is our debut location. And so Hyperspace is an entertainment attractions developer. So we basically build the next generation of amusement parks, kind of new age digital meets physical attractions, kind of tying everything like IRL meets URL. So 1 foot physical, 1 foot digital, building entertainment for a new generation of consumers, a very kind of social media forward consumer. And so Aya is our first product to market. So we have 2 that we're building right now. Aya, which just opened, and then we have House of Hype, which is opening in Dubai Mall in Q2. So that's a 100,000 square foot space. So that's like almost 3 times the size of Aya.
Yeah.
What can we expect over there?
That one's a bit different. That one is like, it plays like kind of like if TikTok and Fortnite had a big physical baby.
Really?
Oh, wow.
It's like a entertainment attraction powered by tokens and digital assets and all about like creating holographic sneakers and birthing avatars and tanks and augmented reality gaming and, you know, immersive body gaming, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very kind of like everything hype culture, everything gaming, everything social media in this physical front end. So that's a bit of a different attraction.
Yeah.
Aya is for a broader audience. Aya really looks at content, really looks at immersive experience. Aya is really like a portal to a universe far, far away. And so in Aya, you have 12 experience zones. You're really shot to, I mean, the easiest way to put it is, you know, it's like building a world at the edge of the galaxy on the dark side of the farthest planet in the universe.
That's what it looks like.
It's just totally out there.
We see the videos and pictures and all the content on social media, and it looks amazing. Like, people just cannot get enough of that space and just all the creativity that's there. But that's what I was telling, you know, before the show, that he gives me the Big Apple vibes. State of New York.
You know,
Makes sense
most of
now.
our team is actually from New York. So we started the company in really like September 2020. So it was like right after COVID. The idea was born kind of right before COVID and really developed through COVID. And so the initial group was about 12 of us that moved from New York to Dubai to start Hyperspace. And so a really unique group of individuals, people that worked at, you know, the likes of Google and Snapchat and Nike, building the future of retail and building the future of immersive experience and brand activation. And so, you know, the proposition was basically, rather than build kind of unique experiences for brands to sell a product, the product should be the experience. So let's use technology, let's use social media, consumer behavior to build kind of this new format of entertainment attraction, which I think had kind of like found some level of traction globally pre-COVID, the idea of like the Instagram museum.
Yeah.
But I mean, what we've ultimately built is kind of a big step up on that.
Next level. It's next level.
Thank you.
Did each of the 12 initial people that started with you, did everyone get a room?
No, not quite. No, much more of an integrated team. So we have
Yeah.
a really extraordinary creative team. We were very lucky to bring over Desi Gonzalez and Rama Allen as the COO and CCO in the kind of first group, and they're really the kind of creative and production muscle. You know, the sorts of talents that you often just don't get, you know, out of New York, basically. And so we moved them to Dubai to basically start the business. And so a lot of the creative identity of the space came from there. But Aya is, you know, a content machine. Aya is like creating 2 full-length feature films and basically programming a video game in a park. So there's like 186 minutes of content in Aya. So you'll walk into a room, you'll have a very unique experience. You'll walk out of the room and walk back in and kind of question if you were in there before. Because the content loops are so long and they're so diverse. So in 1 minute, you'll be in the middle of an asteroid shower. In the next minute, you'll be in the middle of the deep freeze chapter, a black hole. You'll be in a kind of morning segment of, you know, kind of avatars playing within some sort of like celestial landscape. And then all of a sudden it will be like, you know, looks like they're now on the surface of Mars, you know, in the morning of Mars or whatever it might be. And so, you know, very like simply just very immersive spaces, highly interactive spaces too. So, you know, as the consumer, you are very much kind of controlling elements of the experience, making you feel very powerful. So you might touch an LED screen and create some sort of cosmic event in the space and feel kind of like the space is basically made you to feel very powerful and very significant.
Wow.
So it's very much built for social media consumption. That's really key. I think that when we looked at the kind of landscape for entertainment attractions globally, a lot of them were very like content art driven. And we wanted to drive it based on consumer behavior. And so for us, one of the main keys was build spaces. Like you start building experiences from the vantage point of how someone looks in social media coming out of that.
Amazing.
So I would say our product is the social media you take out of the park.
It literally sounds like you're stepping into an X-Men movie.
It does.
Or like Avatar. That's
You should feel like a character in a movie a little bit. That's a good.
Yeah,
kind of
but
reference point.
as out of this world as the attraction is, so was the marketing for it. You guys had Meteor Stunts. So tell us about that. Whose genius idea was it, and how did you guys pull it off, and how was it?
It takes an army as always. So we have some really fantastic individuals on our creative team. Obviously, as I mentioned, we have an extraordinary group on our marketing team. We really looked at all the kind of marketing powers that be for entertainment in the UAE. So we managed to poach individuals from Museum of the Future and from MR Entertainment, et cetera, and bring them to our team and some of the kind of bigger agencies as well, and bring them to our team to kind of run what I think is a really extraordinary campaign. So we started with the meteor shower, Aya's landing, and so that was very exciting to kind of
Aya's landing.
Aya's landing, and so it was like something's coming from the universe. December seemed to be a kind of busy month for meteor showers in Dubai, and so we kind of fit into the mix. I would hope that the kind of CG that we use is a bit, stronger than most, and
so
kind
funny.
of. And so we worked with, we're very fortunate to have a bunch of kind of really great mega influencers that have worked with us and really great support from that community. So a lot of that started with Karen Wazin, who's actually an investor in our company. And so Karen really helped advise on, how to kind of engage an audience there. And then we ended up working with, a really extraordinary group. I'm going to miss some of them, but, Mo Vlogs and Maya Diab and Salama and Noor Stars and Karen. And so it was a list of about 10 or 15 mega influencers that we brought into the space to kind of shoot content with us and to create kind of these Aya movie trailers with them and do these big reveals, et cetera, around the meteor shower. And then we brought another, I want to say about 450 micro and macro influencers through the space pre-opening. So we built up quite a bit of buzz.
Oh, you guys did. It was all over social media. Like, you just could not miss it.
But that's the thing. It was all over social. Like, people don't enjoy going to amusement parks and taking pictures of roller coasters anymore. It just doesn't do it for anyone.
For sure.
This fits kids. This fits adults and people of like all age ranges. What goes into conceptualizing ideas like that from start to finish?
Being super ambitious with technology, I think, is key. And really understanding, like, ultimately your product is a product for a consumer. And so you want to create, a space and the kind of content output that a consumer is very excited about. And so, thinking about, what does your social media look like when there's 100 other people in the room? Do you feel like your social media captures you as if you're in there alone? Finding these unique moments within the park, kind of creating this user experience that really feels like you're kind of diving down this portal. So when you leave the park, you're almost like leaving back to a sense of like normality because you're down this like vortex.
Like, take me back in.
Yes, exactly. It's like when you decide to leave, it's like coming to terms with the fact that you're leaving. I think that's like a really that was one of the creative briefs at the beginning was like, when you leave, you're supposed to say, I'm going to leave, and then you question whether you actually want to leave.
Why did I leave Aya?
Or, say, well, it takes you an extra 10 or 15 minutes to get yourself out of there because it's like, now you're back to your car and a highway and the white hallways of a mall. And it's like, but this is like uplifting. And so like one of the biggest themes with Aya is actually travel. And so we always say it's like travel to kind of a universe far away, travel to kind of a distant universe, et cetera. But like just in one step, it's like you don't have to get on an airplane to travel far away to a distant universe. And just the sensation of that is unique. But ultimately, it comes down to technology. Like I think that when you are able to understand consumer behavior, unique technology, being super ambitious with technology, that's how you create a great result. And so for us, the underbelly of Aya, the kind of servers and kind of the drivers and kind of systems, that work within Aya to let that function is honestly just as much artistry as the actual park itself.
Amazing.
That is really cool. I mean, it's going to be a game changer in the terms of attractions. Like, this is what people want to see now, like amalgamation of digital meets experiences. And I need to ask, it's a hard-hitting question. What do people wear for the right pictures in Aya?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you one thing that I love about entertainment attractions and the social media outputs. It was one of our perceptions very early on. When people come to an attraction like Aya and they create all this content, then they look at their pictures and say, which ones am I going to post? And they have 10 or 15 killer pictures.
Yeah.
I say, well, I'm wearing the same clothes in every single picture. I have to go back in a new outfit to take pictures in X room or Y room, et cetera, to make my social media feel a little diverse. So these small little hooks are quite fun. I mean, I would say in Aya, probably, you can wear high heels, but probably best not to because there's tons of mirrors around and it's very kind of, the terrain in Aya is unique.
Okay.
You just want to...
But like flowy, what would look good with the pictures? Flowy dresses?
Flowy
or like
dresses work well,
jeans?
sneakers. I mean, there's a bit of everything in Aya. So you can stand in Flora and you're in the middle of a bioluminescent garden with I think it's like 600,000 fiber optics in the garden, all reactive to you. So yeah, I mean, there's content that we've created where we have lying underneath fiber optic trees and the like, and they look very angelic. And then other moments where a more kind of like hype forward kind of streetwear outfit might look cooler in Tide. So to each their own.
12 rooms, that's 12 outfits. That's 12 Instagram posts.
You know what sounds good to us? We'll do it.
What's your favorite room?
Oof, my favorite room. I love Flora. I think Flora is really exciting. I think that for us, and I mean for me in particular, I really want to be fully immersed. I want to feel like I'm in a world where I just kind of like lose track of reality. And so Flora is that, Tides is that. The Tides is made up of 52 LED totems, and it's a fully mirrored room. Like in Aya, we made a few rooms that, like from an experience design perspective, you just never make because they just. It doesn't make sense from a maintenance standpoint. It doesn't make sense from like you have to clean them 4 times a day to make them still feel pristine, etc. But we went for it.
Yeah. 100%.
So they look great in pictures. So
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, right?
It's just the pictures, yeah. And but why did you choose Dubai of all places to introduce Aya?
I've always been very curious with the kind of market in Dubai for the last like 6-7 years, and so moving here in late 2019, I really wanted to build a kind of new format company here. I think that there was a fair amount of growth in this sector pre-COVID, say from 2016 to 2019, a bit in the tech-enabled experience space, probably more in the analog space because it's a bit easier to stand up analog experiences. Dubai has this extraordinary tourist market. You have one of the most visited cities in the world. I think this year, hopefully, the most visited city in the world. Yet it's a young market still in terms of the offering. And so, what Dubai's done is they've built a lot of these larger offerings. But in terms of homegrown offerings, private sector offerings, you could spend a year being a tourist in Paris or New York, et cetera, because they've had, Paris has had hundreds of years to build cultural, entertainment, cultural attraction, et cetera, and old format and new format. Dubai is new in that sense. And so when you look at the market here, you look at the amount of tourists, you look at the nature of the resident audience here, #1 social media consuming country in the world, one of the top gaming countries in the world, a country that's really plugged in, kind of, demographically from a social media perspective, you have this extraordinary audience, yet you don't have necessarily the attractions to match. And that's not like, saying Dubai doesn't have what other cities have. Dubai has so much, but there's just still room in the market to put more there. And so we're seeing that with the early visitation. I mean, we're seeing, numbers that are, beating our projections by about 100%. On a day-to-day visitation, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Man, if this was only there during Expo 2020,
100%.
it would have like leveled it up times 1,000.
But then it's like Expo's gone, and now we have this.
A part of, because basically in Expo, this is what we saw, like all these immersive attractions and like exactly what Aya is. And now we have like a whole part of Expo just there in Wafi City.
Exactly.
And it's at such an accessible location. Bang in the middle of the city. And how much does it cost to
visit Aya?
Yeah.
99 dirhams.
Oh,
Very
wow.
attainable.
Right?
This is a mass
100%.
market attraction. You have to remember, with every single visitor that comes through Aya, they are our marketeers. They're the ones that are showing Aya to the world. So we want the more people that come to Aya, the better. I mean, for us, where it's about kind of building an identity as a brand, building an identity as a company, and so we measure our success in revenue and in visitation, and visitation is very, very important.
Amazing.
That's
Well,
such an
thank you so
affordable
much for your
price.
time.
I was gonna like, I was not even no. Okay, so I asked the question, not knowing it was like 99. I thought like maybe 150, 160. I'm like, okay, so like,
99 is what people want to hear.
yeah, that is what I want
99
to hear.
dirhams.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you have a know the CEO discount? But it's like we don't need one. It's
Yeah,
pretty.
is that a thing?
Of
I'll
course.
still take it if
For
I
you
can.
guys, it is, of course.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you guys.
So people can visit Aya at Wafi Mall.
Exactly.
What are the timings?
10 a.m. to 10 p.m. during the weekdays, 10 a.m. to midnight on the weekends. Tomorrow's supposed to rain, so it's a perfect day to visit Aya.
Woohoo!
We
Oh,
did
yes.
our record day was on a rainy day, so
Oh.
That's it. That's Dubai
you
for
just
you.
Vibes
have
on
to come
vibes.
by.
And on socials, where can they check out Aya?
Aya Universe.
Aya Universe.
Aya Social is growing at a crazy rate. I think we're growing like 5-6% a day on our own social channels. So keep on following Aya. It's
People love
fantastic.
it.
There you go, Aya Universe, guys. Get following, and we will see you same time, same place after the weekend on Monday morning. Bye.